To go live today. Look, I'm just going to swap over so I can see everything that I'm doing today. Old people's problems or older people's problems. I hope you are all well. Happy Thursday. Mute myself may be helpful. So my name is Ellen Woodbridge. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Australia. So what does that mean? That means I use Stampin' Up! Products, so stamps, ink and paper, to make paper crafts, predominantly cards, but I do throw in a couple of other things from here and there. So today we are using some celebration products, and those products can be earned for free. Hello, Bev, from our celebration catalogue. So if you spend $90 or $180, you host a party of over $500 in sales, or you join my team of demonstrators who earn fantastic discounts, you can get free things out of this catalogue. So we're doing that today, and we're also popping in some products from both of our other catalogues. Look, and I have everything in hand, upside down. So we're using a die from our annual catalogue, which is a fun die that I don't use enough, so I thought I'd use it today. And we're using some hybrid dies and embossing folders from our mini catalogue. Hello, Miss Lynn, how are you? Now, everyone who is here live, please make sure you are subscribed. You can only comment if you are a subscriber. So, and you have to have been a subscriber for 60 minutes, just because I have previously had some issues with bots and trolls. So I changed my settings. Hey Shari, hey Sheila. So I've previously had problems with bots and trolls. So I changed my settings every video. So only subscribers and those who have been subscribed for 60 minutes can comment, just to keep us all a little bit sane or saner during the live. I can't say that I'm sane during my lives often, but we shall try our best. So as you're coming in, don't forget, thumbs up, make sure you are subscribed, and if you give me a thumbs up, it helps me know that you're liking what I'm seeing, or what you're seeing. I'm seeing myself. It helps me know that, and it also helps other people find us and join our fun paper crafting adventures together. Unfortunately, there isn't any choosing today. That was all on Tuesday's video. But today I'm showing you a project that I shared with my class, and would you believe the card is up there? So when I flip around, so it's just there at my finger, you can see it from a long way away, and you can see the other cards you'll see in the coming weeks. But yes, these are all cards I have to prep for my team meeting on Sunday. So I am going to flick us around. We can get started, although I should show you the products we're playing with. We're playing with the Ringed with Nature stamp set, as well as the Tree Rings hybrid embossing folder. So you get this gorgeous tree ring embossing folder, as well as the dies, and you get them together as a set. They're not separate, they're a set. So I'll show you how we're playing with those. Hello, Miss Paula, long time no see. The Picture This dies, and these have been around for a while, and these are fantastic. We're also using the All That dies. We're just using this small oval, but this is a very versatile die set. Hello, Miss Corinne. Thank you all for joining. Just making sure I'm not missing anyone saying hello. And I've also got my sentiment all set up in the Stamparatus, and besides that, we are using the Rings of Love Designer Series paper. So that's a look, and we'll have a bit of a closer look. I have used quite a few of the pieces, so I'll show you what I have left. So please tell me, it's Thursday, so tell me your plans for the weekend. I've got to go do some organising for an 18th birthday party that's happening next weekend. I'm about to be the parent of an adult. It's weird. It's not scary, it's just weird. Because said 18-year-old is still at school, so they're not really an adult, but they are trying very hard to be an adult. It's weird. Please tell me, because I know a lot of you also have adult children, please tell me I'm not the only one that it's just a weird stage of life. Oh, I'm glad you love that paper, Corinne. So tell me what your plans are for the weekend and how you coped with your child becoming an adult, but they're still not I don't know. As I said, weird. So let's flip around. I'll grab the card so I can show you. See, I told you I wasn't really prepared to go live. I was watching a TV show. Oh, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one, Corinne. Okay, come on, please play nice. Flip around. Woohoo. Yeah, I know a lot of my friends do have adult children, and I was chatting, I had dinner with one last week, and she was there going, I can't believe I've got a 25-year-old. And I went, he can't be 25. He was in primary school when I met them. So, yeah, just a bit scary. Hey, Leslie. Hello, Miss Glenna. How are you? Taking off my cardigan here. I'll be back in a second. Okay, let me grab this card. As I drop the card. Okay, coming back. Oh, and I knocked my camera too. I did really well. Okay. That looks pretty good. Okay, hello Miss Kathy. You have 3 grown children. They are a delight. So will your adult children be. Oh yes, I know I'll always be their mum. Yes, no doubts about that. But it's just, yeah, it's just they're less dependent. Oh, at 34. Wow, Leslie. I had to leave my eldest on his own after graduation for months. I was at a loss without him, and the same feeling when he got married. Yeah, I can understand that, Corinne. Hello, Miss Margine. Yeah, I think I need to listen to my friends who have a lot of wisdom regarding these things. Hello, Miss Louise. How are you? Okay, so this is the card. We're going to make 3 of them today. It is quite a simple card, but we are doing a few steps with this card. Oh, you're thinking about this, are you, Kathy? It is gorgeous. It is a gorgeous bundle, and the Ringed with Nature stamp set and hybrid dies and this Ringed with Rings of Love Designer Series paper are all designed to work together. So I have already cut out all these pieces, and I did use the Picture This dies to cut the Designer Series paper to make sure it fitted in perfectly with our die cut crumb cake piece. Now, I did say I was going to quickly show you this paper. Now, I did say I've used quite a bit. Now, you can use, where's the die? I'm going to show you because we worked it out. So this is the Tree Rings die. And look, there is so much you can do with this. I need to show you so much more, because these pieces cut out the embossed piece and then you can layer up, and oh my god, I've got so much to show you. But this designer series paper and this die do cut out, so you can see just like that you can cut out your designer series paper, which makes it really, really lovely. Oh, I'm glad you like it, Miss Glenna. Turning off my heater here. I don't know, I always get hot when I go live. Now, I've been doing live videos for years. I just always get hot. Not that I'm flustered, but yeah, so it does go with that. On the other side, we have butterflies, mushrooms, toadstools, greenery, but no splatters for you, Glenna. That one could do with some tiny splatters. Wildflowers and a check, acorns, and we have the houses, and on the back of the houses is this really pretty mandala. And then on the back of the bird is a really nice blue and green watercolor, and on the back of, this is pretty much all the paper I've got left. On the back of the tree is poinsettia, which is great for Christmas. I do have a bit of a larger piece of the birds, and everyone I have shown the birds to has gone, oh my god, those birds are so beautiful. So that is the back, and I think I really want to use this piece because I've used the birds quite a bit. I really want to be able to use this piece, but we shall get to it. And I love the houses, but I don't think I have any of these trees left at all, unless I earn myself a whole nother pack, which is not out of the realms, because we have until the end of August to earn our celebration products. So what I think we should do first is cut our crumb cake pieces using our Picture This die. David's having a bit of a cough there. He's still recovering, but we are slowly getting better. I have 2 children at school for the first time in a while today, because the last week of school, Lavender didn't go to school at all. Then we had 2 weeks for our winter holiday, or winter school break, between term 2 and term 3. And Lavender hasn't gone to school this week either because she's sick again. Fun and games. Yes, they are super unique. They really, really are. You can go a day. I always think of you when I use it now, Gwenna. You have a reputation for splatters and dottage. Although this card really could do with some splatters. Some splatters on that background would actually look really, really good. Okay, we're going to be using our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine a bit today, because I also want to show you how the hybrid embossing folder works. I know I've shown it before, but I want to show it again. So we have plate 1, we have plate 2, and we have 2 plate 3s. I'm going to take my card front and I'm going to line this up as best as I can. Now, I don't want it to go in straight, because it causes a terrible clunk and crunch, and if you can put your squarer dies in on a slight angle, they do go through a lot nicer. See how that just went through? There might be a bit of a clunk at the end, but it just goes through really, really nicely. Now, I am going to keep these pieces for Ron, because Ron is always needed, and these types of rectangle pieces are fantastic good for sentiments, good for a smaller image, and we have one card front. I'm going to repeat that twice more. I am just going to pop this a little further forward so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to put my cardstock on a slight jaunty angle, pop our rectangle die down. So what I'm wanting to make sure is I'm getting this fairly even in the middle. If it's not perfect, that's okay. It's a handmade card, and the people you're giving it to don't deserve the card if they're going to make comment. Sorry, you're seeing my head. I'm so glad I washed my hair today, since you're seeing my hair. It's hard to get it straight when you're going through on a bit of a jaunty angle, but okay, that went through lovely. No crunching, no cracking. So just that slight bit of an angle does make a difference. And then we're just going to inlay our paper in here. As I said, already pre-cut. Yeah, that's all your reputation is, Glenna. You've got an amazing reputation. Don't know about mine sometimes, but you know. Yes, the internal and the external pieces all have stitching, Corinne. So you get double the detail, which is fantastic. I love it when we have double detail. It just means, and I find it makes the pieces even more useful. So they've already got that detail ready to rock and roll. So I can stamp them, I can use them as a layering piece, and it's all built in, ready to go. Okay, this is our last piece, and then I'm going to show you how the hybrid embossing folder works. Okay, so that is my 3 card fronts. I am going to pop this die away straight away, and I'm going to take away 3 of these plates. Yes, it is really good, Corinne. I will show you the dies close up, and you can see the circle dies are exactly the same. You get the stitching on the cutout piece and on the piece that you're cutting out of, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take my plates 2 and my 2-3 plates away. I'm going to replace it with our number 4 embossing plate. Now I need to grab this. So I am using, oh my god, that just flew across the floor. I'm going to grab a piece of soft suede. This is literally just a scrap. Do you know what I'm going to do? It's going to be so much easier. I'll pop this on the ground just for a few minutes. Okay, so we have my piece of paper, my embossing folder, and our die, which goes with the embossing folder. So I'm going to open the embossing folder. I'm going to place the die. So we are going to cut and emboss, hence the hybrid, all at the same time. If this will, so that is locked into place. Now I want this one right down here, but I have this longer piece. So what I'm going to do, just going to snip, I do have my scissors here, I'm just going to snip that off, and there we go. I'm just going to pop that in there, close our embossing folder. Now when I use my embossing folders, generally I have the Stampin' Up logo going up, so facing me. Today I'm going to have it down because I don't want that die to move. So I'm just going to carefully pop this off to the side, bring our machine back up, and no comments, so you're all enthralled about how this is going to work. So we've got our base platform, our embossing folder with die, and our piece of paper, and we're just going to pop our this is our specialty embossing plate. And going in spine first, we're going to pop this through. Now this is going through like super duper easy, and I'm here going, did that really cut? Did it really cut? Yes, it really cut. Okay, pop that back. Okay, so take our plates away and I shall make you hold for the unveiling. So open this, and we have cut and emboss pieces. I am going to keep these little offcuts. I do have a little bag for them, and this is the one I'm going to need, although I think I've already got one and this is an extra, but that's okay. So I'll show you nice and close up. We've got the embossed texture and perfectly cut all in one pass. So if I wanted, I will show you. We'll show you with this die here. What you can do is, no, that's not the right die because we didn't do the super huge one. I think it's this one actually. The notches look right. So this die goes in, it does slot in perfectly when you line it up correctly. So this die slots in perfectly in the interior. So what I could do, I could pop crumb cake in front of that, or Sahara sand, and make a two-tone tree ring, which most tree rings are because we have darker bark than anything else. Hey Shaz, so you would cut and emboss in a separate color and then cut the interior out. So they have really thought with these dies and given us everything we can ever need to make really, really detailed die cuts, or we can keep it simple like I am today. I am not even using any ink on our tree ring today because I'm inking our sentiment, and that's where we're going to go next. I'm going to bring in, after I put, no, I'm going to leave this out for a second. Okay, so we have this, we have this, we have this, and I have my Stamparatus. So, Stamparatus, I assume, because I generally know how I set up my Stamparatus, I have pre-cut these ovals. Now these ovals are actually, see, they're my other ones. I'm going to put those there. Okay, so I have my little jig. I've just got to find my die cut now. Just going to pop this here. Oh, I haven't even done it. I think I gave it straight to my girls and went, go for it. Oh, no, I did, but maybe I had an extra. I think I had an extra. So what we want to do is situate our die cut in here. I'm going to take my Night of Navy ink, and I've got to do this once more because we're only making 3 cards. So I always pop in a couple of extra sentiment die cuts, because I know sometimes I don't even get it right and I stuff it up. Okay, just give it an extra zhuzh. Perfect. So we've got one and we just need one more. You love the idea of the tree for the sentiment. I am so glad you do. Okay, just going to kind of making piles off to the side now of things that I'm using and things that I'll need. Okay, and a little die cut is just here. So as I said, I will have an extra, but I'm all for having extras that go in my use it up box rather than not having enough. Okay, give that a zhuzh, a stamp, and that came out perfect. So I love this mixed font look. I'm just going to move this over so it'll save me cleaning later on. Yep, that will go just there and we will deal with that later. Okay, I need to pick up the packet I dropped. Nothing's ever easy with me, seriously. Okay. So, I wonder if I can put my hand, and that's my extra. So I'm just going to pop that aside. I've got my 3 card bases. I need to close this. No, I can't close this ink pad yet. I still have something to do. So I have 1, 2, and 3 of my wood rounds. And I'm going to keep these for a later project, and I know somewhere in my little use it up bits, maybe I don't, yes I do, somewhere in my use it up bits it was just not directly in the box. I do have a little bag full and ready to pop these bits in, and having those straight edges are perfect to fill in the edges of the cards. Now these crumb cake middles I will pop in that box to use later, and I just need my blue blending brush that I was using last night. So I was making my team swaps last night, and I need just my scrap of paper. So what I want to do now is just create that blue background on the background. So just going to do a really light tap. We're just going to pop a hand here, just go in from one side, flip it round. I may create a finger mark, but you know, that's okay. Pop it in on the other side, and I've just got that really, could go even darker. I've gone lighter than my original here. Let's just see what ink I have left. That will do. That was a really good catch. Okay, next one. Oh, that's significantly darker because I think I forgot to tap off. 2 and 1 more. Okay. Oh no, that one was really, really dark, but you can absolutely still see the sentiment through that one. It's just darker. and I think I may have had another blue in on this before I did that one, because I can see the cast of a different blue. But that's okay, it doesn't matter. I think this one has the same cast. And I can tell you, I was using balmy blue last night. So, some balmy blue mixed in with some Night of Navy. Looks fantastic, apparently. Okay. So, I'm going to get in my wood rounds, and I'm going to pop the 2 dimensionals on each of these. Here are my dimensionals, was using those earlier. I finish off my team swaps using Celebration products, but I didn't use this paper. I think I used this paper on last month's team swaps, I think. David is making garlic naan bread, and the smell is driving me bonkers because it just smells amazing. And I don't eat bread, but garlic bread or garlic naan bread, the smell of it, oh my god, drives me insane. Does garlic bread do that for you guys as well, or is it just me being weird? I'm happy to be called weird, so please tell me. Okay, so I'm going to make the sentiment dimensional, but when I glue down the wood round, so we're just going to see the bark part. So it's got dimension to it, but you don't look at it and go, oh my god, that's a wood round. But just add some really, really nice dimension. Oh, it is, Corinne. It's so good. It's just, you know, pre-done garlic naan from Aldi. I do shop at another grocery store as well. But let's say 80% of my groceries I do at Aldi. And I was there yesterday, but we didn't buy any naan bread. There was enough in the fridge. It is so good. So good. It's always been garlic bread for me. It's like, gets my saliva glands going. Makes me, and I am not actually hungry. I ate not long before I came on. So I'm really, really not hungry at all. But just that smell. Now, I cannot find my normal bone folder, so I'm going to use my inky one. But don't stress, it is clean. It's just stained. So, in order to do our inlay technique, we need to do it directly onto our thick Whisper White card bases. So these are nice and thick and sturdy for our card bases, and I have cut our paper in half long ways. And then, well, what I did actually, I scored it first in half and then cut it long ways. So then when this card is open and sitting on someone's mantle or desk or wherever they decide to put it, it doesn't collapse. So we've had this conversation in the past. I do prefer side folds. So when this is sitting up as a landscape card, it's sitting perfectly and it's not going to possibly collapse if I do it like that. Hello, Miss Carol. That's fine that you're late. There is always a replay. So now we're going to take our card fronts that we've already die cut and stick them down. Now, you could have skipped, oh my God, a piece of paper just went on the ground. I am going to have to get that. I have to use a ruler. It's way too far under my desk. Now, if you wanted and didn't want to use the same die cut piece to make this inlay, you could just cut the piece a little bit bigger than the panel and stick it on. But I wanted that stitch detail in all the pieces, so you get that continuity. Oh no, naan bread, N-A-A-N, Paula, not known bread. You're weird too. Okay, Paula, we'll be weird together. We'll be weird together. It's all good. Okay, so I'm going to stick these down first. Now this is where my dotting comes into play, because I can just lightly get these areas and still have some slip. Okay, I am going to try my very hardest to get this down right the first time. So, and I did. Woohoo! Okay, there's one down. 2 to go. Let's see how we go. Yeah, I own it too, Paula. Oh my God, if you don't like me for who I am, how I present myself, then I am not your person, and I am totally okay with that, because there are enough people in the world that you can find someone who you vibe with. And I will never take offense. It's okay, some people I don't vibe with. It's all good, just the way life is. Now I've got that song in my head from the 90s. That's the way love goes. I don't know why that song just went into my head, but you know, it did. Come on, this one's going to be incredibly painful. Take 2. Take a deep breath. Pop it down, pop it down. And let's leave it just like that. Perfect. I don't even know who sings that song. It was a cool song. Was it Janet Jackson? Maybe? I think it was Janet Jackson, because I remember hearing it recently when I watched her documentary that came out recently. I know you guys had it in the US, obviously, and it was showing here in Australia as well. Amazing artist. I certainly did grow up with her in the 90s, and of course her brother as well. I don't have any of Paula's albums, but I certainly do have Michael's albums. So iconic. Such iconic music. Okay, now we have this. I'm just going to let this glue go off as such, and I'm going to come back to our first one. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to grab my T-square ruler, and I'm going to try and get this piece. So, you like the blue blended on the sentiment. It just, when I did it plain, I'll see if I can grab that plain piece. I probably can't. But when I did it plain, it looked very, very stark on the rest of the cards. So I thought, let's blend it. And it worked. So I kept it. That's how a lot of my things go. Okay. Okay, we have our little bluebirds, and my ruler survived. I think I'd cry if that ruler broke. I think I truly would. Or garlic bread with spaghetti. Well, see, I don't. Okay. See, I don't eat pasta either. So, yeah. Just by choice, I don't have any particular aversions or anything, but just by choice I don't eat pasta. So you can see how perfectly these die cuts just drop in. They drop in really, really nicely. So you get some of the houses, so you get a titch of the house. Unfortunately, when you're cutting it, you can't get everything. That's okay, you get the hint of a house, And these ones work together very well. They're a very similar style. This Rings of Love paper is very, very unique. Some of the patterns you go, how do they go together? They don't necessarily, but they do work really well with the stamp set, and this paper works incredibly well with our gnomes as well. I do have a gnome card coming up. I don't have the stamp set, I do have the paper. So that is the first card base ready to rock. So once you do all your prep, this is a great prep and go card. I could get a whole heap of these done and take them with me, and then just stick and plonk, because that's really, once you get all of these bits die cut, it is a real stick and plonk card. Okay, oh, that's good. The good birdie is up the top, so I definitely, ooh, what's happened here? Oh no, that works. That works. It's all good. I wasn't quite working out my pieces. And then my flowers can go in here. And then we just have sticking this down. Oh my god, I think I might just be under an hour. And we did 2 lots of die cutting. And I did all the stamping. I'm rather impressed. Oh, that's so nice, Corinne. I do admire homes that look like that. It does remind me very much of the American style of homes, not necessarily the style of homes here in Australia. Although you guys have probably as much varied style of homes as what we do. But yes, they're very sweet. Remind me of all those childhood cartoons that I watched. All those hours watching silly sitcoms. Okay, I do need a titch of glue. I'm going to stick the houses down first, and then I'm going to see if I can, there's just this piece lifting in here. So what I'm going to try and do is pop a titch of glue under there, and it's okay that it's oozing a little bit because we're putting this piece in here, so you won't even know that any of it is oozing, because it's going to go perfectly just like that. Now, a couple of the girls in my class didn't want to cover certain patterns. So there were trees or houses that they didn't want to cover depending on how their things were cut. So quite a few of them put their sentiment up in the top right hand corner, but for this one these birds aren't particularly, they're actually a bit distracting. So I'm more than happy to put this in the bottom left, and then we're highlighting this bird, where the other birds, yeah, they're going, is that a bird? Is it front of a bird, the back of a bird, its head, all of that. Yes, the house parts on the set are really good. I'm definitely going to use them. I just haven't got to them yet. I'm very glad that this is part of the 6-month mini catalogue, which gives me time to play. Gives me lots of time to play, so I'm not rushing and doing it all right now because, hey, I'm only one person. Ah! Wow. See, my parents built their house. They live in the next street from me. Not planned. It's just happened when we bought our house. It was on a flat block. My parents are on quite a steep hill, even though they're in the next street. Yes, I don't want to cover up that house, but if I popped it down here, it would look equally as good. But I don't mind covering up that red because there isn't a whole lot of red in everything else, and then these two hits of red really, I know they work together really well. So it ends up all mine are going to happily go in the bottom left, but if you had something down here in the bottom left you really wanted to show, putting it in the bottom right would absolutely work. Okay, and one last one, and our embellishment. Can you tell me, this is not a normal pearl, but where does it come from? Tell me while I finish these up. I'd love to know where you think these pearls come from. Tell me how good your knowledge of the catalogue is. They're in the annual catalogue. Oh, Miss Louise is on the move. Need to leave this sitting here. Oh, thank you for moving it, David. Moving her bed. It had migrated almost into the middle of the lounge room. Okay, got these here, tidy up a bit. No one's guessing. I will tell you, don't worry. I just didn't know if anyone knew off the top of their head where they might come from. Okay, right, so they come from our pastel pearls. So these pastel pearls actually came out with our hydrangeas. So when we had our hydrangea paper, and they have stayed. So we've got the Highland Heather, the Gorgeous Grape, Blushing Bride, and this really nice light blue. I'm not sure, it's not balmy blue, it's none of our blues, but it just works in really well to add a really nice subtle hit of blue. So I'm just going to add 2 to each because that's all that's really needed. Maybe if there was a small one, but we've only got them in one size, but if there was a small one I may add another, but just using the 2 I think it adds a non-papery texture to the card. Okay, and one here. And you can add them wherever you want, of course, but I just want to draw attention to the sentiment. That one, and lucky last. And would you believe they are our cards done? So today we have used, we've used our pastel pearls. Let me move this stuff out of the way. And so we've made 3 cards today. So that's, I'll just call it card 1. Card 2, we just see a hint of the houses. I think that still looks quite sweet. And card 3. So even though you've got these big bold houses, they still just do readers' houses, just using a small section on this type of inlay card. My pleasure, Louise, my absolute pleasure. Now, what did we use? This is what we always go through at the end. So we used the All That Dies, and we just used this one here, and I will show you. There is a titch of embossing just on the edge. It's a beautiful detail you get from these dies. They've all got that titch of detail in them, or majority of them. we used, where is it? It's over here hiding. We used the picture this die, so you get your double stitching on both the circle and the rectangle. And we used the tree rings in hybrid embossing. So we embossed with the embossing folder and cut. Now I will show you, you do get a cutting edge on the inside of the embossing folder. But if I was just to use this embossing folder to plain emboss, this line, you don't even see it. It does not do a thing. So you're not actually harming your embossing folder by using this hybrid embossing folder, because it is designed to cut and emboss, because this edge that you're cutting into is actually wider than the top edge. So hopefully you can see that there if I hold it still enough for you. Great. So we used that. We used the pastel pearls. So not too much. And of course, where is my blending brush? And we used the blending brush just to add a hint of colour to this. Now I'm hoping that something hasn't happened here. No, just my feed paused. Just my feed paused. So hopefully I'm still going for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope I showed you a new way to use the paper. And the fact you don't have to show the whole tree ring, you can just show an edge. Just let me restart this. And the fact, the inlay. So you can use inlay with many of the dies that you own. So you can cut into a piece of cardstock or design a series paper and then pop stuff in there. So all of these products are available on my store, which is linked below. I will be back on Tuesday. I will show another one of my cards that I share with my team. I'm so glad you love it. I'm very glad. Thank you for hanging with me and having a chat. I do really love when we do this. Actually, I need to do this. You can't see everything. I've got it all a bit too high. All a bit too high. There you go. There you go. You can see it all now. See it all now. Great. Have an amazing weekend. Stay safe, stay well, and I shall see you over on Tuesday on Facebook. So make sure you have liked and are following my page so you get notifications of when I go live. Always 12 noon Australian Eastern Standard Time. Any questions? Please don't hesitate to ask, and I will see you next time. Bye.